On to 2012, lunch 45, 15th of February at the Rob Roy. Support act figure John Woodruff. We also heard from Amber Joy Poulton. Lunch 46, 21st of March 2012. We heard from the late Dave Flanagan. We also heard from John Rose. And Ray Hockey had his head shaved. Lunch 47, Rob Roy Hotel, 18th of April. And Adelaide's own blues icon, Barry McCaskill, was there. At the Rob Roy on the 16th of May 2012, we enjoyed lunch number 48. Our special guest that day was cartoonist extraordinaire John Stoney Stoner. All things must come to an end, I guess, and on the 20th of June 2012, we enjoyed lunch number 49 at the Rob Roy for the final time. Our guests that day, Johnny Mac and the legendary radio ace, Tony Pilkington, Pilco. Lunch number 50 was one of the more interesting lunches we have had. One and only luncheon at the Akaba on the 18th of July 2012. We heard from photographer extraordinaire Kevin Kelly, also Darren Bullen, and Sky and Damo played. Well, they played for a bit anyway, before we sort of were interrupted. So it was off to find another venue. Within the month we had another one, the Duke of Brunswick in Gilbert Street. On the 15th of August 2012 at lunch 51, invited back to complete their set were Sky and Damo, and flying in to perform a set as a tribute to his great mate Daryl Cotton, who had recently passed, was Russell Morris. We were at the Brunswick again on the 19th of September for lunch 52 2012. Our guests that day were Doug Ashdown and Carol Whitelock. Lunch 53, 17th of October at the Brunswick, Billy Millicents was our special guest, with a pie or two on hand, and playing us a few great Who classics were Five-Sided Circle. On the 20th of November 2012 at the Brunswick, we were treated to entertainment from Tim Hardwick plus comic Eddie Bannon for lunch 54. Lunch 55, the most mysterious luncheon of all. It would have been December 2012 at the Brunswick. It would have been a Christmas show, but I can't chase any info from it. Chances are it may never have happened. So we'll just set that one to one side. But the start of 2013 on the 20th of February, lunch number 56 at the Brunswick, it was a big day. Big attendance for the launch of a great book from Daisy called Rock Jock. To launch it officially, Bill Page, 5KA and Austereo legend, flew in from Melbourne. And also flying in from Melbourne to perform for us, Russell Morris. At the Brunswick on the 20th of March 2013, lunch number 57, we saw Gary Burrows doing John Lennon. Lunch 58, 17th of April 2013. By this time, it was pretty much a given that attending a Support Act Luncheon would mean seeing a musical performance. And everybody did that day. The Angels played, with the lively Dave Gleeson out front. They were also joined by Wilbur Wilde on sax, as the guys were already in town to play that night, of course, at the Chris Bailey Memorial. Our short-lived stint at the Brunswick came to an end as we moved to the Norwood Hotel for the next luncheon, lunch 59, on the 15th of May 2013. Our first guest performer at the Norwood was the world-class Ian Moss. Lunch number 60, 19th of June 2013 at the Norwood, Julia Williams played. 17th of July 2013, lunch 61. Now ensconced to the Norwood, we saw the brilliant and now late Phil Emanuel play. We also heard the life story of the so sadly now late Neil Humphreys. Lunch 62, 21st of August at the Norwood, jetting back home for the day, Bobby Bright. And we were joined on stage by Jim Slade as well. Lunch 63, 18th of September 2013 at the Norwood, the very funny and lovable Frankie Davidson. At the Norwood on the 16th of October, we enjoyed lunch number 64. And our guest that day was the very interesting Alan Caswell, who we would meet again. Lunch 65, 20th of November at the Norwood. A Sebastian Day all round. Performers Sebastian Scott and Frank Sebastian. Lunch 66 was the first of what is now a real fixture and very popular part of the Support Act Luncheon calendar. On the 18th of December at the Norwood, it was our all-in Christmas show. Performers too many to name. 2014 kicked off at the Norwood on the 19th of February. Our guests that day, John Forrest and Harry Herney doing a fabulous Everly Brothers tribute And we heard from a fella who launched a book on that day, Mr. Barry Ian. Plus more music from the Twilight Zone. 19th of March 2014 at the Norwood, Lunch 68. The Rustlers performed. We also heard from media legend Peter Sellen. Lunch 69, 16th of April 2014 at the Norwood. Carol Whitelock was a guest. And we met Rob Morrison. 21st of May, lunch number 70 at the Norwood. Irish Albert and Vonnie J were our special guests. 16th of June 2014, lunch 71 at the Norwood. Our guests that day were Eric Bogle and Kelly Menhennet. Lunch 72, 16th of July at the Norwood. Radio legend Rex Leverington joined us, along with Bobby Hunter and Joyce Washington. Lunch 73, 20th of the 8th, 2014 at the Norwood. Slipping out of the music vein just a tad, for someone who truly loves his tunes, footy legend Andrew Jarman joined us. We also heard from the Riverland Ramblers. Lunch 74, 17th of September at the Norwood. Alan Caswell was back, and also in attendance, the mighty Max Pepper. Lunch 75, 15th of the 10th at the Norwood. We heard a most interesting life story from SANFL Commissioner stalwart David Shipway, who was interviewed by the late Neil Humphreys. And there was music too from the legendary Carol Sturzel. Lunch 76, 19th of November 2014 at the Norwood. Keith Conlon hopped behind the skins. We heard also from Dave Pryor, and we were joined by Bonnie Lee Galea. It was Christmas time again for Lunch 77, so on the 17th of December 2014 at the Norwood, it was again a Christmas free-for-all. You were the stars. 2015 kicked off with an absolute belter at the Norwood on the 18th of Feb. We heard from the legendary Bobby Hunter. Lunch 79, 18th of March 2015 at the Norwood, Jeremy Cordeaux was most enlightening. And we saw dueling guitars at 10 paces with the husband and wife virtuoso team of Jim Hermel and Virginia Code. Lunch 80, 15th of April 2015 at the Norwood. Johnny Florence performed. And we heard what would amount to part 2 of the Bob Francis story. And a sad footnote to that luncheon. It would be our last meeting with Bob Francis, but it would also be the last luncheon attended by David Day. He would pass barely a fortnight later. Lunch 81, 20th of May 2015 at the Norwood. Michael Keelan, gardening expert, was our special guest. We also heard from a reformed The Boys. At the Norwood on the 16th of June 2015, we enjoyed lunch number 82. Sophia McRae and John Bienvenu performed, along with popular 60s duo Bob and Sonia. Lunch number 83, 15th of July 2015 at the Norwood. Oh, I got a Guernsey that day behind the skins as drummer for Veronica and the Vipers. We also heard the life story of radio veteran David Sabine. On the 19th of August 2015 at the Norwood, lunch number 84 was to happen. We heard from footy legend Gary McIntosh. Plus, we heard the great sounds of Travis Wellington Hedge. Lunch 85, 16th of September 2015 at the Norwood. The highly skilled and very upstanding Andy Seymour performed that day. We also heard from Max Pepper. On the 21st of October 2015, lunch number 86 at the Norwood. We heard a real family affair. All the McCaskells were on stage. Yes, they were great. Paul Macon was a guest speaker as well. At the Norwood on the 18th of November 2015, lunch number 87. Again, we welcomed Alan Caswell to perform for us. We also heard from Not the Andrews Sisters. Christmas comes so quickly. 16th of December 2015, lunch number 88. Again at the Norwood. The Christmas free-for-all where you are the stars.